Welcome, welcome. Here we are for another ELD lesson. Woohoo! We are so glad you are here. Let's get started. I want you, let's remember every time I put down the pen, you could pause. Teacher, you can pause. Whoever's leading this can pause, and you guys will either read or write or talk when we pause, okay? So let's go ahead and start and let's write these words. Animal classification, animal classification, animal classification. Pause, unpause. All right. What does that mean? Well, you guys all know animal, and classification means to put into groups based on characteristics. And there are 5 major animal classifications. I'm going to write them down. This is going to be a little sloppy note taking, and that's okay. There are fish. There are amphibians. There are reptiles. There are mammals. And there are birds. Birds. I'm going to pause. You write this down. Excellent. Now repeat after me. Fish, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, birds. Say it by out loud as I point. Unmute yourself and say it. One more time. Excellent. This one's a little tricky. That PH makes the F sound, right? So give me some examples of fish. I'm going to pause. You're going to say it out loud. Raise your Zoom hand or your real hand if you're in a real class, in a regular classroom, or just say them out loud and press pause if you're by yourself. Give me 3 examples of types of fish. Excellent. I'm going to put 3 as well. I'm going to put sharks. I'm going to write salmon. And I'm going to write flounder, like in The Little Mermaid. Under the sea, right? I'm going to write those 3 types of fish. You go ahead and you could use your own ideas or the ideas of your friends, or you could even search it and write 3 kinds of fish. Go. Perfect. And so I'm not confused. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do a little cloud or a little circle so I'm not confused here. You can go ahead and do that if you want to. You don't have to. It's up to you. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with amphibians. So fish basically they have gills, they have scales, they live in the water. What else? They usually have eggs. I don't know what else about fish, right? So there are different traits, classific characteristics that fish have. Amphibians. Let's have some type of examples of amphibians out loud. Raise your hand. Excellent. I heard some things. I'm going to go ahead and write salamanders. Salamanders. If you need to Google pictures, go for it. Okay. Of course, frogs with scaly skin. Excellent. And I think that this last one I'm going to put is famous. I want to say, is it Pokemon or it's one of the games? Let's see. Axolot or Oxalot. I remember last year I talked about this and the kids got so excited because it's part of a game, but I don't remember which game because I'm getting older and I'm not remembering everything. Oxalot, right? So these are 3 types of amphibians. Some of these amphibians can live, they have scaly skin, they could live in the water or they could live on land. These are amphibians. I'm going to go ahead and pause while you write down 3 amphibians. You could also Google this or search online. Another big classification animals are reptiles. pause and share any type of reptile that you know of. Raise your hand. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and put 3 types of reptiles. I'm going to put turtle. I'm going to put lizard. And I'm going to write crocodile. You do not have to crocodile. You do not have to copy mine. You could come up with your own. If you look on your devices, there's a bunch you could choose from. In fact, I'd rather you not copy mine. Woohoo! Go ahead and write down your 3 reptiles. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now we have reptiles, we have amphibians, we have fish. Let's try mammals. Let's share, raise your hand and share out loud 3 kinds of mammals. Excellent. We have dogs. I like that dog. So mammals tend to have live babies. They breathe air. They have fur or some, they often have or hair. They oftentimes produce milk. So dogs, I'm going to put tigers. And I'm going to put monkeys or some type of primates. Apes, gorillas. I'm gonna put primates. That's like the bigger grouping, right? That whole big family of monkeys, apes, gorillas, all orangutans. I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna pause so you can write your 3. Last one, give me 3 types of birds. Go for it out loud in your groups, in your classroom by yourself. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and pick 3. I'm going to pick chickens. I just ate some eggs from my friend's chickens. They were quite delicious. Delicious. I'm going to pick owls. And I'm going to pick parrots. Those are examples. You go ahead and write down your 3 examples. Perfect. So you should have a list of the 5 major classifications and at least 3 examples of each. I'd love it if your list and my list are different. Maybe some could be the same, but I would like others to be different. All right. So we're going to use this information and we're going to focus on 2 of the 5. So 2/5. 2/5. You know how you say this? You say fifth. Repeat after me. Fifth. Fifth. Excellent. 2/5 of this list. We're going to focus on fish and mammals. And we're going to do this by making a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram, okay? So I'm going to put my animal classifications on the side. And I'm going to write here Venn diagram. Go ahead and first repeat after me. Venn diagram. One more time, Venn diagram. And maybe you've seen Venn diagrams in your reading or your writing. They help you organize your thoughts. They help you with reading comprehension. Excellent, excellent. This is a Venn diagram, right? So what is the purpose of a Venn diagram? A Venn diagram is made to contrast or to see how 2 things are different. So we are going to contrast. And I'm going to give you some time in a second. And then we're going to compare. Comparing is seeing 2 things that are the same, how 2 things are the same. And contrasting is seeing how 2 things are different. Go ahead and make this and write these words. Excellent. Repeat after me. Contrast. Compare. Excellent. So we said we're going to compare and contrast 2 different animal classifications. We're going to look at their characteristics. So the first one is going to be fish characteristics. So things that fish do or things that fish have. Okay. fish characteristics, and here we're going to have mammal characteristics. We're going to have fish characteristics, mammal characteristics. That's a hard word to say. Repeat after me. Fish characteristics, mammal characteristics. Sometimes this CH makes the ch, 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 but sometimes it's tricky because it makes the, here it makes the sound of K or QU. So sometimes it could be a little tricky. So here it's characteristics, not characteristics, characteristics, right? And here we're going to see how they are both the same. So we're going to have fish characteristics, mammal characteristics, and both. Pause so you could finish writing. Anything you're not done, pause and finish writing. I'm going to ask you for maybe 4 of each. 2, 3, 4. 4 mammal characteristics or traits, 4 fish characteristics or traits. And then in the middle, let's have a couple of characteristics that they both share. So 1, 2, 3. And the cool thing is that in a Venn diagram, you don't have to have full sentences. You can just put down some thoughts. It could be a single word or a phrase, okay? So fish characteristics. I'm going to pause, or you're going to pause, or your teacher's going to pause and raise your hand and share something about fish, where they live, how they look, what they do, anything about fish. Go for it. Great. And if you need a visual, I have a picture of a shark here. I have a picture of a shark here. Okay. So I'm going to use it based on this picture. Your list and my list should be different, or maybe they overlap with some things, but not with everything. I'm gonna focus on this right here. I'm going to put, they have fins. They have fins. I'm going to write, and yours could be different. They live in water. So it could be the ocean, it could be a river, it could be a lake. Fish live in water. I'm going to put that fish swim. And often they're in schools, like this shark in this picture is in a school, which is a fancy word for a group. It's not a school like you were part of a school. This means they're in a group, but sharks also can be by themselves, right? And why don't we put that fish? What should we put? What should we put? They have gills. They breathe through their gills. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and you write the 4 things that your friends have shared or that you thought of, and it's okay for our list to be different. Excellent. So if mammals don't have gills, mammals typically have lungs. We breathe through our lungs. Okay, we breathe through our lungs. So why don't, oh, you know what I forgot? Share what you know about mammals. Share some characteristics about mammals. Remember, mammals could be tigers, dogs, cats, elephants, monkeys. Okay. Okay, hopefully you shared some information about mammals. I'm going to put that they usually have skin or fur or hair. Okay, fish don't have hair, do they? That's nope, nope, nope. Mammals a lot of times have live babies. Fish, not sharks. I'm understanding sharks typically have live babies, but fish typically have eggs, right? And mammals usually are on land. On land. I'm going to give you an example in a picture of some mammals. Look at that little kitty, so cute, so cute. Has fur. I got my first cat I have now. Her name is Suki. She's so cute. Oh my goodness. So this cat has fur and it has claws. So there's different characteristics, right? So here's mammal characteristics and here's fish characteristics, right? What are some things that they both do or both have? Well, they're both, well, talk about it with somebody. Okay. Well, let's see. They both are animals. Both are animals. Oops, I messed up. That's okay. They both are animals. Now, this is called a graphic organizer. So this is not a final product. So it's okay to mess up and scratch out. That's okay because you are just sorting your thoughts out. That's what you're doing on this. You're sorting your thoughts out. They both they both eat. Okay, they both eat. Hmm. What else do they both do? They both breathe, right? That they both breathe. They breathe differently. One breathes through their gills, one breathes through their lungs, right? One breathes under the water, one breathes in the air. So these are going to be kind of simple that they both do, basic characteristics. They have that in common. I'm going to go ahead and let you finish writing your ideas here or what your friends had. And if you don't have anything, you could go ahead and copy mine. Excellent, excellent. And for our last page, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. You don't have to copy these directions. Okay. It says here, use your use your Venn diagram to compare and contrast fish and mammals. One paragraph should compare them. How are they the same? And the other should contrast them. How are they different? Please read these directions with me out loud. Take off your Zoom, take off your mute, turn off your mute button and go. Use your Venn diagram to compare and contrast fish and mammals. One paragraph should compare them. How are they the same? And the other should contrast them. How are they different? So you're going to have two paragraphs. So for the first, I just drew some lines, but probably your paper has lines. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to first start with how they're the same. I'm going to start how they're the same. Okay. And that's going to be the first paragraph. And remember, every time you start a paragraph, you use a few fingers. It's called indenting. And that's where you're going to start. So I'm going to have my first word be both. And I'm going to have you finish this sentence. So I'm going to give you an example of the first paragraph. The first paragraph is going to say how they're the same. So let me give you some examples. Both fish and mammals are animals, period. They both eat, they both breathe. That would be three short, easy sentences, right? And for the second paragraph, you're going to write how they are different. So for my second paragraph, I'm going to start it maybe here or maybe here because the first paragraph is short. I'm going to write they are also different. I'm going to write they are also different. So my first paragraph is going to go here. I'm going to finish my sentence and then I'm going to start the next line over here. And I'm going to write how they're the same. There should be at least 2 or 3 sentences with periods and capitals. And then here at the bottom, I'm going to write how they're different. I gave you the first sentence. They're also different. How could I continue? They're also different. Fish have fins and live in the water. Mammals have lungs and have skin or fur or hair. They both one swims and one walks on land. You don't have to use all 4, but this is to get your ideas. So I want you to write 2 paragraphs by yourself. And then when you're done, I'm going to have you come here and then I'm going to write a paragraph and we're going to read my paragraphs together. So right now you're writing 2 paragraphs. Okay, good. So now I want someone to raise their hand who can share what they wrote to the rest of the group. Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine really fast. Both mammals and fish are, and I'm going to go all the way back here, are animals. Period. Both mammals and fish are animals. They eat and breathe. Oh, I messed up here. I'm just going to cross it out. They eat and breathe. Now, I shouldn't have skipped 2 lines, but I did. Okay, I'm just going to go on here. I'm just going to go down here. They are also different. I'm going to write fish have gills, and I'm going to use for my first sentence, fish have gills and live in water. And live in water. I'm going to also put they also have fins. I'm not going to use the swim part. I'm just going to skip that. I'm just going to use these 3. You could use what you want, but I do want to use this word contrast because that means different. In contrast, that means in the opposite, different. In contrast, mammals, and I'm going to use on land and have lungs. In contrast, mammals live on land and breathe through their lungs. And I'm going to put, they also, I'm going to add, I'm not going to do the live babies. They also, I'm going to put, they also have fur or hair. They also have fur or hair. So this is mine. Yours and mine should be different. They could have similar ideas, but your writing and my writing should be different. Don't stress out too much about spelling. I want your ideas to be on paper, and I want you to have 2 paragraphs. I'm going to read my whole piece of writing. Then you're going to read it with me out loud. And the 3rd time, you're going to read it out loud following the pen. Me first, you listen. Both mammals and fish are animals. They eat and breathe. They are also different. Fish have gills and live in water. They also have fins. In contrast, mammals live on land and breathe through their lungs. They also have fur or hair. Together, with me, unmute, go. Both mammals and fish are animals. They eat and breathe. They are also different. Fish have gills and live in water. They also have fins. In contrast, mammals live on land and breathe through their lungs. They also have fur or hair. Now you read by yourself following the pen. Go. Excellent. You're going to take your papers. We've done 1. We've done 2. We've done 3. And if you are on Google Classroom, go ahead and submit these, upload these to your Google Classroom. If you're part of our fabulous virtual academy. See you next time. Bye-bye.